Weekdays of Bernie segment tonight. The national media went into a frenzy this weekend after Mitt Romney announced Paul Ryan as his running mate. NBC News chief foreign affairs correspondent Andrea Mitchell said this about Ryan.
He talked about our rights come from God and they don't come from government. They decided that this is a base election.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not a pick for suburban moms. This is not a pick for women. This is for the base.
All right, joining us now from North Carolina to analyze the purveyor of BernardGoldberg.com, Mr. Goldberg. So not a pick for women, you say?
I say this is almost funny. Paul Ryan says that first let me say, I think what she's really saying is this is not a pick for liberal women who Andrea Mitchell, hang out with. I think that's the real point she's making. But Paul Ryan says that our rights come from God, not from government. However you feel about that, whether you think they come from God or from government, however you feel about that, how does she jump to the conclusion that this isn't a pick for women? The younger women, single women, will vote for Barack Obama. We know that. Married women with children, older women, tend to vote Republican. But something has happened to Andrea Mitchell along the way. I think the MSNBC culture has washed over her. She travels all over the world with Hillary Clinton, but I think she ought to spend more time in that part of the country between Manhattan and Malibu and meet some women who aren't like the one she hangs out with in Georgetown.
Well, look, I mean, there's no, and I agree with you. Ms. Mitchell used to be a very hard news-oriented journalist, and there's no longer that. And she says these things off the top. I mean, here's how ridiculous this is. Paul Ryan says that our freedom comes from God. Doesn't the Declaration of Independence say that? I believe it does.
Yeah, but
Inalienable rights. So are you quibbling with that, Andrea? I mean, are we going to set the Declaration on fire now, or what are we going to do?
My point is, even if she is quibbling with that, even if you believe our rights don't come from God, that there is no God, that they come from government, how do you go from that to that this isn't a vote for women? I don't get the connection. And I'll tell you what it is, though. When reporters they live in a bubble, and her bubble is in Georgetown. And when you hang out with too many like-minded people, you make the mistake of thinking everybody thinks that way, and they don't.
That's what's good about me, because nobody wants to hang with me. I don't have anybody to hang with.
That's a good point.
Right.
That's
so
a good point.
I can't be infected by the points of view of my compatriots because I don't have any compatriots. All right. 3 presidential debates, 1 vice presidential debate, and the moderators have been named. Jim Lehrer, he's over at PBS, Candy Crowley, CNN, Schieffer at CBS, who did a very soft interview with Romney and Ryan on 60 Minutes last night.
Right.
And Martha Raddatz, my old colleague in Boston, will do the VP debates. Now, all of those people are very smart, and they know what they're doing as far as journalism is concerned. You would agree with that, correct?
Yep.
Right. I don't particularly like Mr. Schieffer for personal reasons, and you can read about that in my novel, Those Who Trespass. That's the first time I've ever said that on the air, by the way.
I know.
And Bernie loved that book.
It's great. It's a great book, seriously.
But here's what's wrong with this. There's no juice here. You know, it's the same old stuff that if Candy Crowley asks them a question and they don't choose to answer it and go off on any tangent, Candy's not going to do what I did. Hey, listen. You're not answering a question. Get back in here.
Yeah.
He's not going to do it, and that's why these debates are almost obsolete.
I thought your complaint was going to be along ideological lines, I wasn't expecting this. Along ideological lines, let me say that they're all going to be on their best behavior.
Yeah.
They're on a big stage. The whole world is watching, so I'm not going to lose any sleep about that. But you are right that this is sort of, in a new age of media, this is sort of a throwback. This is sort of traditional, perhaps traditional to a fault.
Yeah, I think we should get Ted Koppel out of semi-retirement and have him do it. Or, I mean, we are now bringing in people who will do a fine job of asking the questions. But both Romney and Obama are going to do the two-step. and they're going to answer what they want, and then we're all going to be sitting there going, yeah. Anyway, I'm jealous, Bernie. I'm jealous that I didn't get invited. That's why I'm petty, and that's why I'm saying what I'm saying. You, of course, are none of those things, and it's always good to see you.
I'm not jealous, I'm not petty, and I'm not sure what that segment was about. But thanks. I'm glad always to be here.